Om Shri Sai Ram. So very hearty Sai Ram to all dear children. In the previous slides class, we have discussed about the Bengaluru division, different districts. We have discussed Kolar, we have discussed about Chikbalapur, we have discussed about Tumkur, Bengaluru rural and Bengaluru rural, urban and Bengaluru rural. So now coming to the next few districts, Shivamogga, Davanagere and Chitradurga. So let us try to understand or get a view about what are the different aspects of remaining districts of Bengaluru division. So first we will discuss about Chitradurga. You might have heard of Chitradurga, Chitradurgada Kallina Kote, Madakari Nayaka Nalida Kote, a famous fort in Chitradurga. It's a beautiful fort, 7 Suttina Kote. So there were 7 rings, so the enemy could not enter that easily. Such a beautiful is Chitradurga district, this fort. So now, what are the famous things here? So Chitradurga is famous for its gigantic 7 ringed fort. Gigantic means very huge, and 7 ringed means it has 7 layers. So if you want to enter, you have to pass through the 7 rings. So it's called as Elu Suttina Kote. So much of protection planning was done to build this particular fort. Inside the fort there are ponds and temples. So just it is not a plain area. There they have ponds, they have the temples, and whatever is granaries, everything is there in this fort earlier. Now all this many things have been destroyed, but all these things were planned and it was a very protective place. So there are taluks in Chitradurga district, that is Chitradurga is one of the taluks, Hiriyur taluk, then Challakere, Hosadurga, Hodalakere and Molakala Muru. So these are the 6 districts in Chitradurga. Chitradurga, Hiriyur, Challakere, Hosadurga, Hodalakere and Molakala Muru. So these are the districts in Chitradurga district. Taluks in Chitradurga district. This district is known for its Palegaras. We discussed earlier, Palegaras were the Nayakas or the subordinate rulers of the Vijayanagara rulers, Vijayanagara kingdom. They used to report to the Vijayanagara rulers, pay the taxes, gifts and were controlling these areas. So Chitradurga was one such area which were under control of Vijayanagara rulers. Madakari Nayaka was a famous Palegara or the chieftain of this Chitradurga. You might have heard of Vanake Obava, a great lady. Vanake Obava, so there is a movie in Kannada and there is a beautiful song also, you might have seen it. So here the story goes that Vanake Obava's husband was a soldier. He was guarding the fort and Hyder Ali's soldiers tried to attack many times but they could not attack. Then they came to know there is a secret passage where they could enter the fort, and this Obava's husband who was guarding had come for afternoon lunch, and he was having lunch, and in the meantime she went to fetch water and she saw that the soldiers of Hyder Ali were entering, and so she thought of not disturbing her husband who was having food, and she herself took the courage, she took that pond, Vanake, and so one by one she started to hit the soldiers of Hyder Ali, and so in that way she tried to protect the fort of Chitradurga. So a famous place. So this is the Obavana Kindi, so the passage, a small passage where the soldiers of Hyder Ali were entering, and Obava standing here on that heads of the soldiers, she hit one by one and saved the fort of Chitradurga. So this is Madakari Nayaka, who was the Palegara Nayaka or the chieftain of this Chitradurga fort area. Then there are many famous personalities regarding different fields. Maybe in the unification of Karnataka and being the chief minister of Karnataka, yes, Nijlingappa is from this Chitradurga. Then Malladi Raghavendra Swami, so who was a great yoga exponent, he was also called as Tiruka. He used to go and tell, don't give me any flowers and these things, give me money so that I can propagate yoga. Then Talukina Venkannaya, Tarasu, a great poet, Shri Shivamurti Muruga Sharanaru, so there is a famous Muruga Mata there in Chitradurga. Then Taralabalu, another mutt, religious mutt, Taralabalu, that is also a famous place. Then Kabirananda Ashramas, Shivalinga Swami. Then Jagaduru, Imam Saab are the few known personalities in different field, literature, politics, religious, these things. These are the people who have contributed a lot for the welfare of the people. Then comes Davanagere District. Davanagere was a part of Chitradurga District. So it was formed by dividing Chitradurga in the year 1997, as we discussed earlier, for administrative purpose, so that the administration becomes easy. The Davanagere was bifurcated from Chitradurga in the year 1997. A few parts of Shivamogga, Harappanahalli of Ballari district were added to the newly formed district of Davanagere. So few parts already from the Chitradurga, few parts were taken. Then few parts of Shivamogga district and Harappanahalli of Ballari, these were added, and this Davanagere district was formed. It has 6 taluks. So the taluks are Harihara, Harappanahalli, Channagiri taluk, Honnali, Jagalur and Davanagere. These are the 6 taluks in Davanagere district. Davanagere was also called as the Manchester of Karnataka. Manchester is a place in London, United Kingdom, Britain, where it was famous for cloth, garment, manufacturing of textiles. Once upon a time, Davanagere was called as the Manchester of Karnataka because there was a huge textiles were manufactured on a large scale. So during the 1960s, was famous for textile production, but later on, due to the lack of raw materials and different other causes, many of the cloth mills had to be shut down. They were closed. Many people lost their jobs also. There are many sugar factories also in this area. Many sugar factories. Sugar cane is the raw material for the sugar industry. Jaggery is produced. Hundreds of food processing units are also working in this district. Many food processing. So ready-made food items and processing of the food, drying it. These are also produced. It has also made name in the field of education also. Many education institutions are out there in this Davanagere. That is one of the famous is Bapuji education institutions. Almost in Davanagere, everything from the KG till the PG, they have all education. That is Bapuji Institute of Education. The biggest lake in South India, called as Shanti Sagar Lake, is in Channagiri taluk of Davanagere. So it has a circumference of 64 kilometers. 64 kilometers circumference. The Harihareshwara temple from Hoysala period is in Harihara. So famous temple called Hoysaleshwara. So built during the time of Hoysala, Vishnuvardhana, you might have heard. So his time. So this is the Shanti Sagar Lake, Asia's first largest lake. So previous slides we have seen Madhugiri Hills, the monolithic, one of the monolithic hillocks in Asia. So Shanti Sagar, it is Asia's first largest lake. So 64 kilometer circumference. So Shanti Sagar Lake. So Shivamogga District. Next, come to the Shivamogga District, famous district. Famous district of Karnataka, also known for its scenic beauty. It's a very beautiful place. You might have heard of Agumbe, which gets the highest rainfall. There is Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary, and there is Gudavi. All these bird sanctuaries are there in this particular district. There are 6 taluks in Shivamogga district. Tirthalli, one of the famous taluks there. Sagara, Soraba, Bhadravati, Shivamogga, and Shikaripura and Hosanagara. These are the district taluks in coming under Shivamogga district. It is called as the rice granary of Karnataka. Rice is produced on a large scale in this Shivamogga district. So it is called as the rice granary or rice bowl of Karnataka. So there are many rivers which are flowing in this Shivamogga district. Example, Tungabhadra. So they meet at a place called Kudali in Bhadravati, Tunga and Bhadra. Then Sharavati river, which is responsible for the Jog Falls. You can see at Sharavati, where it finally, before reaching the Arabian Sea, so there Jog Falls, it is there. Then Varada, Kumadwati. These are the famous rivers in this Shivamogga district. Then Shankaragatta is the home to Kuvempu University. So Shivamogga University, so it is named after the famous poet Kuvempu. It is called as Kuvempu University. Kuppalli is the birthplace of the great poet Kuvempu. It is in Tirthalli Taluk. It is now growing as a tourist center. There is a Kuvempu's house where all the, so you can see here Kuppalli, where the great poet Kuvempu lived here. And there is a place called Kavishaila where he used to, a beautiful scenic place where he used to sit and write beautiful poetry there. It inspired, the nature inspired him to write all the literature. So Kuppalli is Kuvempu's great poet Kuvempu's house. Kindly visit this place. You can see all the ancient time articles used, how the structure was built, a beautiful place. So this is Jog Falls. So Raja, Rani, Roarer, Rocket, 4 of the falls which Sir M. Vishwesvaraya saw and told yes, we have to use it for production of hydroelectricity. So Bhadravati is a growing industrial hub. So you have heard of Bhadravati Iron and Steel Industry. It was the brainchild of Sir M. Vishwesvaraya. So they get the iron ore from Kemmanagundi. So this is now Bhadravati Iron and Steel Industry is called as now VISL, Vishwesvaraya Iron and Steel Limited. Many people are working, many people have got employment, and it is an industrial hub. The Sharavati Hydroelectric Project and Varahi Hydroelectric Project provide most of the electricity needs of the state. So our Karnataka gets most of the electricity from this project, that is Sharavati Hydroelectric and Varahi. So we get a lot of electricity through this hydropower. It is said that Shivamogga was found by Keladi rulers. So there is a place called Keladi and also Ikkeri. Keladi Nayakas were there, and because of this Keladi Nayakas, Shivamogga was gets its fame. There is an archaeological museum at Keladi. Also in Shivamogga also there is an archaeological museum. Shivappa Nayaka's museum was there, and there is a place called Keladi. We have the archaeological museum which archaeology means ancient whatever the items were there, they have been displayed there. It is said that the name of Shivamogga is due to the face resembling to the similarity to Lord Shiva. It is like Shiva's face, from maybe from the aerial view when you look, it looks like the face of Shiva, so it is called Shivamogga. Shivamogga. Then Jog Falls, the highest waterfall in Asia, is in Gerusoppa. So you can see that many things in Asia, example the Madhugiri Hills, monolithic, one of the biggest in Asia. Then Shantisagar Lake is also one of the biggest lake in Asia, and also highest waterfall in Asia, Gerusoppe, Jog, can find all this in Karnataka. So there is a bird sanctuary at a place called Gudavi of Soraba Taluk in Shivamogga District. It's a place called Gudavi. We have a bird sanctuary where birds from different places come there, stay, and it's a very beautiful place to visit. Then Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary is also a well-known place. Tiger Reserve is there. Agumbe of Tirthalli gets the highest rainfall in Karnataka. It's called as the Mausindram of Karnataka. Mausindram is a place in Meghalaya, so where it gets highest rainfall. So in the same way here Agumbe gets the highest rainfall in Karnataka. Then there is a Tripurantakeshwara temple and Kedareshwara temple of Balligavi. So it is also a famous place in Shivamogga district. Then Keladi ruler Shivappa Nayaka built a beautiful palace in Keladi. Shivappa Nayaka was the chieftain of Keladi, was subordinate of Vijayanagara rulers. He had built a beautiful palace at a place called Keladi. There are many poets from this district, namely Kuvempu, then Dr. U.R. Anantamurthy, who are the recipients of Jnanapita award. So they were both from Tirthalli Taluk. Then national award winning singer Shivamogga Subbanna, he has sung many beautiful folk songs, particularly Shishunala Sharifa's song Kodagane Koli Nungitta. You might have heard this famous song. Shivamogga Subbanna is a famous singer of national level. So students, hope you have understood about this district, that is Davanagere, Chitradurga and Shivamogga. Coming to this question, try to answer these questions. How many districts are there in the Bengaluru division? South India's largest tank Shanti Sagar is in which district? Which district in Bengaluru division has more forest area? Which district has a university named after the national poet Kuvempu? So try to answer all these questions. Hope you have understood these things. So till now we have finished about Bengaluru division. In the coming classes we will study about the different aspects of Mysore division. With this we come to the end of this chapter. So thank you. Sai Ram.